Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today. And we are with Donnya Piggott from Pink Coconuts. How are you, Donnya?
I'm good, man. It's really good to talk to you as usual.
As usual. Where are you? What part of the world are you in right now?
I'm in Florida right now. I'm
Oh,
Florida right
fantastic.
now. Yeah.
Wow. I have to ask because for those that don't know, Donnya and I have this weird, almost supernatural way of running into each other in the most obscure places. I was in New York waiting in front of the UN for a meeting, and I'm just waiting there, standing outside, and there she is, just strolling on by. And we have connected before, but so this was one of the more serendipitous ones. And then I'm in Mexico at some LGBT event,
Party.
and two events came into one. So she wasn't part of our main one. She came in, it was all a business event and conference stuff. And next thing I know, I turn around and there's Donnya again. And the universe always wants us to connect.
It's like, man, what are you doing here? This is Mexico this time. Last time, and then we met in UK. It was like crazy. It's kind of cool though.
Yeah. I like it. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and what Pink Coconuts is all about.
So let me start with myself a little bit. I'm better known as an LGBT advocate. And about 3 years ago, I made the switch to entrepreneurship because I felt like business has way more of an impact. That's my opinion. Way more of an impact than the NGO space sometimes. And I feel like once it can use it, then it can be a strategy, and it could be prosperous for a lot of communities. Yeah. So I started Pink Coconuts, and we've been winding for a little bit, but we've gotten it right this time with pulling together LGBT communities through travel. We started off as like an LGBT version of Airbnb, and we launched in March of 2020. Okay. Perfect time to march for a travel company, isn't it? Yeah. So we had like 2 bookings, and then the pandemic just took off, and then we just spent time learning for that year. Yeah. Which was really, really important. And now we've launched again the 1st of June with Summer Connect, which is our first community. And we're just pulling communities together through travel so that people can meet again. And the isolation, how that has happened, and is really affecting people. So people want to connect. So we'll connect them while they travel.
But you have an event. I just got the email, and you have an event coming up in Miami, and the shtick is getting these women off the apps and into the real world to meet through travel.
No, that's a hard thing to do. I think when I think about it, I felt like we could have started with the guys, because guys could really, they're just spontaneous, but I said, let me try to do the hard thing and get women off their couches, and because it's really, really difficult to get women and some non-binary people out too. But we're doing it. So Summer Connect is going to be in Miami in July. To tell you a little bit about how the Summer Connect works. So we're trying to combine a dating experience for queer women and non-binary people. So once people book, then they get connected through a web app. And then what we do is that we play matchmaker. So if Alicia is really, really cool with, I don't know, Cody, random name. Then we connect them through an app, and they go downstairs and they have drinks for 15 minutes at a bar, and then we kind of collect how it goes, and then we connect groups. So it's really, really a kind of experiment, as a social experiment, to see if people are really, really going to gel based on our criteria, as well as how communities are formed. And this really came out of a experience with my friend who was in quarantine. She was in quarantine in Barbados. Yeah. And I think she was there for about 3 to 4 days. No, I think it was 5 days. And, how it unfolded, where day 1, everybody was like to themselves and being very, very shy. Day 2, people are talking again. Day 3, people are playing games and having a good time. And at the end of it, they're in quarantine, but they're taking like group photos together. So how community is formed through that time. And so I'm using that same model from people who were in quarantine together and created community to see how I can do it with people, essentially. So right after this one, there will be, we're going to do gay adventure seekers in Boulder, Colorado. As people do some hiking, and then pulling people together to see how it works. And then we're going to do some couples and just try to mix it up. So it's fun.
That's pretty cool. You're going to be learning as you go along, and it's all about understanding a little bit about human behavior along the way.
Yeah. So hopefully it goes well. I think it will. It should be a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of fun. Should be a
yeah.
lot of fun.
I love it. Well, I'm looking forward to all this. But in the meantime, just with Pink Coconuts, I know that you've been, when you launched a travel company last year, but the idea was you were focusing a lot on these places that maybe are a little bit off the beaten path, and it was primarily in the Caribbean as well.
Yeah. So that's still the plan. It's just the Caribbean and a lot of the developing world is still grappling with COVID.
Yeah.
So you have all of these different wait times and quarantine times, and it's very difficult for a travel company like Pink Coconuts to nail it, especially if some people are vaccinated and some people aren't. So what we decided is that we're going to still pull together people, but within the United States, because people are traveling in the United
Yeah,
States,
yeah.
people are moving around. And I'm seeing that the United States is perhaps one of the countries that is really, really beginning to really open up 100%. Because, I think we spoke about this before, but COVID still has is different temperatures all across the world.
Mhm.
And while things are picking up in Barbados, we wanted to at least nail it here in the United States so that when we do go to the developing countries, we want to go to Barbados, of course, we want to go to Jamaica, we want to go to Ghana and Kenya. So we're still going to go to these places, but we're going to start here in the United States where, this seems to have everything under control.
Yeah,
So that's the plan.
you're evolving. You're evolving based on the crazy times we're in, and as you said, what's opening up and what's not.
Yeah, you got to move. You got to move,
Yeah.
Matt.
Are you going down to IGLTA in Atlanta this coming up?
Yeah, that should be fun. And congrats on your award. When I heard it, I was like, yo, if there's anybody, because I don't know if there's anybody in LGBT travel. I'm like, this is the LGBT travel guy, of course. So how are you feeling about your award, Matt?
Oh, I'm excited. It was supposed to be last year in Milan, but of
Yeah.
course everything got postponed and all that. So George Neary, who has had the was honored with the award 2 years ago, he's been holding on to it ever since, because he's going to be the one who's going to be presenting it to me. So
Oh, that's
he,
cool.
yeah, so it's a whole thing, but I'm very much looking forward to being in Atlanta, because it's going to be one of the first conferences that I think many of us are kind of re-emerging into. And so, because we're some Pride festivals are opening up this summer, but conferences have to a lot of pre-planning. So this one I feel comfortable with, that they're really going to have it. It's going to happen. And then Atlanta is totally behind the whole thing, so they're really pulling out all the stops to make sure that we're very welcome, and we're going to have a reception there before it all starts. So if you do come, you have to make sure to attend our reception as well.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You don't forget I'm the International Gay and Lesbian Travel Association Fellowship winner for last year too. Do you remember that? So
It's
we
good.
actually got an award at the same time.
Are they going to? Is it something are they going to do a ceremony of
Yeah, they're
sorts?
presenting. Yeah, they're presenting myself and another person, Aisha from Moonlight Experiences.
Okay.
Yeah, we were both the fellowship winners for last year. We were really excited to go to Milan, but Georgia seems fun too.
I think it will be. So both you and I have extra reasons to be there.
Yeah, we're getting awards, man. How cool.
Yeah. And just before I let you go, what part of Florida are you in right now?
I am like in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
I shouldn't say that. I'm in Lake Placid,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I only
Yeah,
know Lake
yes.
Placid in New York, so no, I don't know Lake Placid
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Florida.
yeah. I'm in Lake Placid, just hanging out with my mom for a little bit, but I'm heading down to New York next week.
I was asking because a lot of us are kind of descending upon Fort Lauderdale next week for Pride, and well, it's not Fort Lauderdale Pride, it's Stonewall Pride in Wilton Manors. So I don't know if you're going to
What?
be sticking.
You
Yeah,
I just booked my flight yesterday. If we had had this thing, I would have just like head over. But you know what? I might still make the move because I've been hearing a lot about Wilton Manor.
yeah, and so we're all gonna. I'll be there next week, and the event is on Saturday. But the idea is that it's going to be one of the very first Pride festivals that's kind of coming back from everything that stopped in 2020. So I think there's going to be added excitement for that as well. Should be
Yeah, that should
awesome.
be
I
fun.
love it. Well, I'm looking forward to all this. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. And if you do change your trip next week, I might even run into you next week in Florida, but at least this one won't be so accidental.
Yeah, it wouldn't be so accidental.
I love
It
it.
would be cool.
And but no, I'm really appreciative that you're able to take a few moments of your time to share some of what you're up to and some of your story. And like I said, look forward to catching up to you here either next week or in Atlanta.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see each other this year for sure. For real.
Sounds good. All right, you. Well, good seeing you.
Okay, bye.
Feels good, so good.